Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're once again doing a high-level Smite game, and this is a full pre-made team of CRS versus a full pre-made team of Root Gaming. And yeah, both of these teams are of course really high level, and I am looking forward to them actually battling it out. We've seen them a couple of times already because, well, these are two of the main teams that we see in this game. And we have some pretty high-level people here. So Zapman, we've seen him before. Pan, we've seen him before. The Best, we've seen him before. Then Allied, Lassiz, and Xing. Xing used to be the #1 placed, well, summoner, I want to call him, no, player on, well, on this game. So yeah. Pretty high level game this, and hopefully they will make something pretty interesting for us most of the time. So from what we've seen so far, they well, they get into the matches pretty equally. So they're pretty equally matched. They kind of have similar strategies in how to come back from a deficit, and therefore they it should be interesting at the very least. So yeah, they did remove some of it. Can I actually get in here? No, not far enough anyway. I am in it now, as you can see from the rim. The rim is actually still visible, but that's about it, because I'm actually inside of, of the structure. And that means that it doesn't show itself anymore. But anyhow, we have the blue buff over here being taken. It is picked up by Loki. That is an interesting choice. Loki is of course the best player on their team, or at least he used to be the highest level player on their team, which normally means he has the most experience. On the enemy team, oh wow, we had an invade here, and actually a steal. At least, yeah, I think that's a steal. Hang on, I want to see that, because, well, I did see them grouping up near their own buff here, but then, well, he ran towards the blue buff, and actually because these guys are doing red first, they actually give the opportunity to steal this. So Cupid is going to see that there's nobody there, and so he knows that they're going to come in after they did the red buff, and so we're already starting this, and as you can see, it's dropping pretty quickly, and no damage taken at all, which is excellent. And yeah, these guys, they gave the red to, who is this? Freya? Yeah, to Freya. And that means that, well, we're going to have a little bit of a fight. Freya, of course, taking quite a bit of damage from everything. And, well, we are going to get out, but that's how they stole it. So, yeah, Freya is going to make it out. She's going to have to recall. And yeah, they're good enough to actually understand that they need to recall. But yeah, nothing going to happen in this lane for a little bit, because, well, the enemies, they're only one guy, but one guy that's very hard to kill. And then we have, of course, on the other side, two guys that really are not going to die anytime soon. So mid lane is currently Hell versus Ao Kwang. That should mean that both of them are going to just sit back and, well, just chill. Do nothing, basically. So here we have Loki picking up a red buff. So after his blue buff, he goes for a red buff because, well, he wants to not be in the lane. He wants to gank, and that means that he has to get some experience from the jungle while, well, this guy is holding off the lane 1 versus 2. And of course, Crocodile here, so Back can hold it off pretty easily. For now, but he is getting damaged quite heavily. Wow, that was a huge burst, and of course that was because of the nice wall from Ymir. The wall made sure that he couldn't retreat, and they of course went in for that. But yeah, he's still okay. So we have some towers under attack. But, oh, I was already at that tower. Nicely done. Nicely done. Excellent. And the enemy tower is also under attack, so both of the teams have, well, their own right lanes doing well, and that of course makes it, yeah, we kind of have a similar situation on both sides. I'm going to guess that First Blood is going to fall over here, because, well, this is a 1 versus 2 situation, and on the other lane at least it's a 2 versus 2, but no, I was wrong. So it is in fact over here, because the gank is coming in, and we will see that once again, because, well, I like to see First Blood. Man, I should really zoom in a little bit more, because my PC, or rather the game, becomes very laggy. It has very little to do with my PC, it's just because it's not really made for that. So it runs on the engine from Unreal Tournament. And there you go, the gank comes in and going very low, but he, oh, actually that last shot got tanked. Very nicely done. The Loki just running up behind his teammate, making sure that he does not take that final hit, and they actually get out with 1 kill. In the meantime, here we have some damage done to the tower, but nothing major yet. Yeah, the tower is going to take more and more damage the longer this 1 versus 2 situation goes on. But of course it doesn't really matter too much, because in the end the towers are not that important. It is, however, very important to keep your champions alive, because your champions are the ones that need to clean it up after the tower did some damage. And yeah, well, oh, we have some killing on the other lane, where Cupid actually picked up a kill, and I don't know who picked up the other kill. Doesn't really matter, you can see it here, or you can just read the top when it pops up. It seems that Cupid already has 2 kills now, and that is going to be very hard to deal with, because Cupid with kills is just very, very strong. And we are going to fly across the map to see what's happening in this lane, because, well, as you can see, it is still a 1 versus 2. Loki is still coming or in the jungle, but he is coming in from the side together with Odin. So it becomes a 3 versus 2 all of a sudden. But yeah, the enemies are just going to recall. And of course they are on voice chat together, so they're not going to go in on that. They're not going to reveal that Odin was there as well. And all in all, it's just better to not reveal your strategy when it's not going to work anyway. So 3 guys over here, 1 actually coming back in the lane, well, through the jungle, and go to jungle a little bit. The other 2 coming back now. And of course these are the right laners. The Dragon is of course the mid laner. And as I said, the mid lane was not going to be very interesting. Both of them are just going to nuke entire minion waves. And unless they overextend, nothing is going to happen. And they're probably not going to overextend. Here is Loki. He is trying to get something done. What just happened? Why did he get killed? Okay, this was what I was looking for. The gank finally came in, and we get a very easy kill on Ao Kwang. And it is indeed, in this lane, kind of a kill fest. So, where is he? The Odin getting 1 kill there and 2 assists. Oh, they actually grouped it now based on how high you are in farm. That's that's cute. So it kind of modifies every time. Oh, other sides. I was looking from the other side. So yeah, I'm still getting used to the spectator mode here. It is kind of hard to keep an eye on everything. Well, not so much keep an eye on everything, but show it to you. Because I can mostly see what's going on on the minimap, but I can't really, well, see when someone is going to die. So I have to get a little bit lucky, like over here. The invulnerability just in time, and Cupid not coming in for the kill. Although, pretty sure he could have killed it. He does not have an ultimate though. With an he probably did most of that damage with the ultimate. But with the ultimate he would have finished that easily. And of course his hard bomb wasn't up because that just exploded. And that damage was also prevented with the Aegis Amulet. Once again, Aegis Amulet is a 2-second invulnerability. And it also stuns you. So you basically are standing still, and then during that time you cannot get damaged. Which is excellent, which is something that everyone agrees upon. Because everyone seems to want that Aegis Amulet. Except for the really tanky dudes, they normally go for something else. But yeah, everyone who is anywhere near squishy takes Aegis Amulet because it's just so good. By the way, we saw him taking out a ward over here. Oh yeah, there it is. He placed his own ward and took out the ward from the enemies. That is of course a very important thing to do, not just because you deny the vision, but also because you kind of have vision yourself then and know that the enemies can't really do anything about it. Wow, getting 2 kills here for 1. That is excellent. Yeah, just doing a good trade. The ultimate from Sobek on the Ymir, who was trapped by his own wall, which was pretty silly. But yeah, it's kind of a nice fight here between Sobek and Xbalanque. Xbalanque should be coming out ahead on that, but yeah, Sobek is just staying out of range and not getting damaged. But he is going to go aggressive now and missed his throw and is going to die for that. Because there's really nothing he can do. He dodged quite a few shots there, but there was nowhere he could run. So anyhow, we have Loki coming in here now. Oh. Loki is going to hopefully land a kill here. No, he gets damaged quite heavily. And with Ymir coming in, there was really nothing he could do. Nicely done by the enemies, and really not a whole lot that I can say about that. So anyhow, yeah, health is going to recall, so that means that this guy is probably going to recall as well. No? Oh, he's still high health and high mana. Normally we see people recalling when the enemy is recalling for the simple reason that otherwise when they come back they have full mana, full health and extra items. And of course, yeah, you don't want to just give the enemies that kind of an advantage. And look at this, the Ymir coming in exactly at the right time, but unfortunately Sobek is there as well. Otherwise he would have gotten the kill on this guy, or maybe gotten the kill on that guy, but probably at least stolen the buff. And we are going to go to mid lane, where the fight is still not decided. It's still pretty much the same situation we were in before, and let's go to this lane then. So yeah, but as I said before, this game runs on the Unreal Tournament engine, which kind of has problems with lag, well, with too much calculations needed if you have too much vision. So if you see too much of the map, well, it looks like things are blocked normally, yeah, right? I mean, you can't look through walls and such. But in reality, the computer doesn't know where your vision stops. I mean, it doesn't use OpenGL or anything like that, although it probably uses something like that. But you don't really tell the computer where the vision stops, because that would be, well, very heavy in the calculations. You normally just let it calculate everything that's visible, or everything, just in the angle that we're watching. But the problem is, of course, that is way too much. Why would I need to calculate or, well, display what's all the way in the back of the map if I'm not even able to look at that? So the Unreal Engine has walls that you insert in these kind of things, so in the trees, for example, or in the buildings, and those walls, they determine where the limit is of your vision. So the limit is not actually determined by the actual limit, but by artificially set boundaries. And if you go beyond those boundaries, nothing is calculated, so you can't see anything. The thing is, of course, if you forget to have these, to set these boundaries, or if you have something like, well, this, where you have the total map in vision because you're floating above the play surface, then yeah, the engine starts, well, having some trouble. Especially the first time you do that. The second time is already calculated, and it just draws on that previous knowledge. But yeah, you can mess up pretty heavily, and in previous versions of Unreal Tournament, we do see that happen every now and then. That maps are just, yeah, well, maps had to be remade, basically. They had to put in more of these walls to make sure that the engine could handle the calculations. And that, of course, is, yeah, it's a flaw in the design, but it's a well-known flaw, so people know how to avoid it. And in Smite, they did a pretty good job of avoiding it and making it pretty viewable and playable, even with, well, a non-perfect computer. Very nicely done here. And are we going to get the kill with Cupid? He might actually still do it, but oh, he has sprint. He's going to get a double kill here. If he can make it work. No, the jump is good enough. Yep, the jump is good enough. No, he's going to tower dive for it. That is really aggressive. And he is going to, however, land the kill. Yeah, he is going to get killed though. Nicely done. So the team actually paying attention there, but the Bacchus did that invulnerability in the wrong spot, because he was going to come back 2 seconds later with the exact same situation. The situation, well, where Cupid is not taking damage, so he's going to just have to run to Cupid, and Cupid is of course not going to let that happen. Cupid is just going to shoot him in the face and be safe. So yeah, very nicely played by the Cupid, very aggressive move, and of course with the sprint he had the movement speed to actually catch up with both of them. And in my opinion, the Pan, I don't know what he was playing, oh, he was playing Freya. Freya should have backed off. She kind of couldn't do anything there anyway, so I don't know what she was trying to do. But here we go, once again, the Freya getting focused, but this time they are going to pick up a kill themselves without getting killed, and that was excellent. But we are going to kill this tower here with Shivalanke, but Shivalanke going so low for this. Is he going to be able to get out? It is, oh, it's going to be close, but no, it's not going to be close. Allied saying, no, you're not getting out this time. The entire blue team seems to be grouping up over here. And, well, we're not going to do anything because everyone just retreated. Which is excellent. They know that they have no vision over the enemy team. Which means you have to be careful. And watch the wards. 1, 2, 3 blue wards over here. So that right lane is pretty well protected. 2 at the Gold Fury. Which means Gold Fury is pretty well protected. Actually, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. So Gold Fury is pretty well protected. And now there's 1 red at Gold Fury. 2 red. And that means that the red team is trying to gain back some of the vision. But yeah, they get, both of them get taken out by just this 1 ward. Very nicely done. And yeah, this is so high level play that I can't really discuss every detail of, well, why things are good plays, but I hope you still, well, just enjoy the play for what it is. I'm trying to every now and then enlighten you on some of the plays, why they're good or why they're not so good, but yeah, it's kind of hard to pick what I should tell and what I shouldn't tell, because, well, it's kind of, every play has, well, has so many details on it that you can explain why people do it, that, well, sometimes it's just better to completely ignore it, and that's